Guys, it's Taylor. Thank you for tuning in. I know I haven't been here in a couple weeks, so I apologize. There's really no excuse. Life has been crazy. That's all I can say. One of the things that I did accomplish, my t-shirt I'm wearing, you can find at royallineclothing.com. Our spring collection is coming soon, and so I hope you are, paying attention to that. I'll leave a link down below if you don't even know what I'm talking about. But it is coming soon, and we're very excited about it. I am making the effort to be more consistent on here with the makeup tutorials, and it's going to turn into somewhat of a lifestyle blog, I feel like. So I do plan to have guests on, go through their makeup bags, sort of my advice on how they can accomplish what they're wanting to accomplish with what they have already. So if you guys think that is a good idea, leave me a comment. Coming soon. I do have to gather all of my victims and see who is willing to go through that with me. Other than that, just stay tuned on this daytime skin routine. Let's get into it. Let's start off by my fave, the Nivea Sensitive Skin Balm as a foundation. I put my hair back, but it's finding its way back to the front. As you can see, I went ahead and did my eyebrows because that can turn into a long process, and I didn't want to waste time. The next thing I'm going to do is the Pore Filler by NYX, because we're halfway through the day, and that's all I need right now. So this is literally going to like fill your pores. Make it a velvet smooth base. And I am going through a breakout right now. I've been stressing at work. Next, we're going to go in with some Glow. I keep unscrewing them before I tell you what it is, but it's Born to Glow, again by NYX. I'm going to clean off my hands a little because of that velvety finish. With anything else, you sort of want to clean off your hands because sometimes it will turn into those little balls if you keep rubbing too much, so we don't want that. So with clean hands, I'm just going to take a little bit and put it like where you would highlight normally. High points of your face, so your cheekbones, nose, forehead. I do above my lip and my chin. Just know that it would actually highlight wherever, and this actually isn't going to be a big highlight because it's going to go under our foundation, so it's really just going to provide somewhat of a dewy finish. I feel like it gives me that extra little gleam. It's not really that huge of a difference in my opinion. Next, I'm going to do some color correcting since I am going through a breakout right now. So I'm going to take my wet sponge and go where I need to go. I always do around my mouth, breakout or not, but we tend to get hyperpigmentation around there. And because I've been ripping and running, I have slight dark circles. Now, as you can see, it's not like clearly coral. It is very light, and with the damp sponge, it really just gets it in there. You shouldn't be bright orange after doing something like that. Or if you need green or purple, whatever is going to offset your color, that's what you want. So it should just be like a really slight difference that will make a big difference under our foundation. My foundation today is the Huda Cinnamon. My having the foundation as I knew I would. The one thing, I did have to order it online, so I didn't really get to check my color as I would normally like to in the store and make sure I like it. But cinnamon honestly is a pretty good match. It just is like it's really warm at first. So when I put it on, it's gonna look really, really warm. But you'll see how I managed to take care of that. So I am, I forgot to put powder right here. I don't want to get oily later, so I'm going to take a little bit of my NYX finishing powder, very light amount, and put it under my foundation. I sort of just damp it on with my finger because I really don't want that much. Or if you have like a lightweight brush to just, you know, sweep it over your face, that would work too. So as you can see, my T-zone is my main concern. So let's keep going with the foundation now. I don't really go right up under my eye with my foundation because I know I'm gonna do like concealer there. Some people may, I don't. Sometimes I do my highlight my contour first before my foundation, and today I did my foundation first. It's honestly just what you guys, you know, think is best for you, whatever flow works best for you. Honestly, I like both flows, so that's why I switch it up. But like really, it looks really warm. So it will change, but my skin looks flawless. Like I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but this foundation is amazing, especially if you know how to prime correctly before putting it on. Like this foundation is perfection, seriously. And like just from her talking about it before it was released, I was like, that sounds like exactly what I want. So I encourage you to try it. Have my base foundation really in there. I'm going to go ahead and contour. I'm going to contour with the LA Girl Cosmetics Pro Concealer in Dark Cocoa. I've been using this for a while. Before this, I usually switch between concealer or cream concealer. I really did like the Anastasia cream contour palette. That's what I used for my color corrector just a few moments ago. Nothing against it, but honestly, like, this is a great deal. It's only like $2 or $3.95 for like a tube, and the tubes last me a while, so why not? And I just wanted to try something new. Cream concealer is very different, and I haven't really declared which one I like better, but I just feel like this one's a little faster. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but you know, you just sort of get in a new habit that works and you don't really know if it's like better than the previous or if you just flow with it. So now that I lined out my jawline and my cheek contour, I like to use the big fan and just go in a sweeping motion because it's really quick that way. Contour, you usually use like cooler tones, and that's why it sort of brings down the warmth within my foundation. I will say I'm pretty hard to match foundation with, so that's why I'm pretty lenient on how warm this looks on me right now, because like for a majority of my makeup wearing days, I always have to mix two foundations. I am golden undertone, which translates to warm undertone, but I have really weird skin. I don't know if it's because Native American, African American, or what, but my mom is golden undertone and she's more of a yellow shade. And so me being a brown shade, it's like harder for me to really match just one color and go with it. And a lot of people ask me, how do I match my foundation? And honestly, it's like I play with it. I know that a cooler contour and then like a yellow highlighter in my highlight region is going to really neutralize the warmth of my foundation. So it's really just you have to play with it. There's no answer, and I think that's what's most confusing in the beauty industry is a lot of people see these videos and it looks so perfect and so easy, and it doesn't translate that when you just try to, you know, do it halfway or one step when really we did 15 steps. So it's like, if you want it to look like it's perfect, then you actually have to put the work in to do it, and you aren't gonna know automatically, you know, your first time trying what's good and what's not. Like, I still have Facebook memory pop up on me and try to come for me because I looked a mess back in the day, and I feel like everybody has those days when they look the mess. And you know, 5 years from now I'll probably think I still look a mess, but we evolve, and that's all that you need to worry about is evolving. So just try and have at it. So my nose contour is actually very light right now, so I'm gonna just make sure it shows up because I don't want to have to go back later. And I'll stop running my mouth. It's like the camera's in front of me, but my mirror's to the side, so I'm gonna move this over a little bit so I make sure I'm not like catching the light over there. It happens. I really snatch nose and some days I don't. It really just depends on what I want that day. Simple as that. So I use the Fawn and the Warm Honey as my highlight. I start with the Fawn. It is the darker of the two. And just draw your little inverted triangle. I put sunscreen on today. I don't know if you guys are catching this purple pinkish hint on my skin, but sunscreen is like so weird. I never knew like how iridescent it looks. But I probably didn't do it the smartest way. Like, I have the spray sunscreen and I literally like sprayed my face, and then I realized like this is a powerful spray and I probably should have sprayed it on my hand and then put it on my face like a smart person. But you know, sometimes I don't make the smartest decisions, so it's called being human, I guess. It drives me insane. Then we draw a fan on our forehead and go down the bridge of your nose. Now the chin, you can highlight that. I don't have a very big chin, so I highlight mine just to make it stand out more. So I'm gonna take a small powder brush and blend this out. I use the brush first just to, I feel like when you start with the brush you get more payoff on the color. Whereas if you start with a sponge, it's immediately, sponges soak up the makeup, but it also blends very well, so that's why a lot of people use sponges. But personally, like if I wanted to show up more, I'm going to use the brush to actually get the payoff, and then I'm going to blend with the sponge. So I did a very quick, fast blend in with this because I am gonna go back and add the Warm Honey that I was talking about. I add the extra, this is probably like 2 shades lighter versus just 1. I feel like just highlighting like right under my eye and the specific region of my nose, it just makes it pop a little bit more for me, so I like it like that if I'm going full glam, if I'm going to work, or if I'm not planning to be, you know, taking pictures or anything like that, I'll just use Fawn because as you can see, it's still a highlight. Okay, hold on. This lighting is like trying to play me. I wonder if that's how it's... I have the windows on behind my filming lights, so I wonder if that's why because I just looked at the viewfinder and y'all, I look crazy on there, but it looks like perfect in person. I don't have this down to a science yet if you haven't figured that out, but does that look better? I really wish I had opinions on stuff because I'm a very like perfectionist, and like I'm the only one I know who does this type of shit, so I can't like go ask a friend or family member. They're gonna be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Anyway, so I'm going through and just blending out that final bit before I add my warm honey. The fan has my hair going all over my face. And especially when I'm tired. As you can see, I'm focusing on my eyes because like, when I tell y'all I've been so busy, I'm not even playing. I'm gonna go back with that brush for this round. So I keep blending this out, but I am gonna add a step. The Cover FX Custom Enhanced Drops in Moonlight. It's like a highlight, a liquid highlight, but it's very intense. So I'm gonna use this brush while I'm like, now that it's blended out and I'm not using the brush for blending, I'm going to add just a flick of this. I like literally run the brush against the thing and it picks up like a very little bit. And place that where I want that shine. Now, I don't have this technique done perfectly every time yet, but I've had the most success with the brush application. A lot of people use sponge for the liquid, but for some reason it always comes out blotchy on me. So I don't know what I'm doing to mess that up, but again, it's a learning experience. But do you see it? Like, oh my gosh, I'm gleaming. Especially since this lighting is just extra bright today. Just FYI, normally, like, because the lighting is like weird, I would not even post this, but since it's been so long since I've posted, I'm posting this shit. Sorry, not sorry. I hope y'all still, I hope y'all agree with that decision. Like, I'm saying y'all, obviously we can see I ain't got that much of a following yet, but I'm speaking it into existence, you know? I think I picked up too much there, so I just wiped it on my hand. But I really like the effect it adds. It's like your skin is the dewy glow versus a highlighter. Now, before you get too carried away with that, this is where we're going to add our sponge to really get it in there. A damp sponge just really brings things back to skin-like for me. As you can see, I haven't finished blending like the rest of my face with the highlighter at all. I've been focused with the highlighter because really, like, you do have to move pretty fast with that stuff. It's just something about the combination of all of those different like concealers and highlighters, like, it's just something that I've noticed I can't let sit there too long or it will be more blotchy than flawless. So now that we have it mainly under control, I'm gonna blend my highlighter and my highlight into the rest of the look. This is also where if something's not standing out for you, this is where you need to add it in, because after you put on powder, you can't really go back with this and like flick more on. You could, but it's harder. Okay, so now that we have that going, let's go ahead and bake. Gotta move fast with the bake too, because you don't want to start creasing under your eyes, which it looks like I am a little bit. Being tired is not fun. So I'm going to use a damp sponge, and I'm looking like this to like try to keep from creasing, and look up and place your powder. I bake wherever I tend to scrunch my face and I don't want the makeup to scrunch with it. So I go like this, and so that's why I'm baking there. And then my eyes are also very like squinty, so I bake there. While that is going, I usually go ahead and finish off my contour with its, oh, by the way, I use Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in Banana. Now, I am a freak over Laura Mercier baking powder. It's honestly flawless. It really is. However, it's $38, I'm pretty sure. And so I've been testing out other options because I'm a girl on a budget, and until this is my full-time job where I'm getting free makeup, bro, I'm going with the best deal. And so I have seen a lot of people using this and suggesting this. It's very cheap. I think I got this little, and it's a small bottle to be honest with you, but I don't know how much it actually holds, because it may just look small, but because it's in a different like shape. But I've had it for at least 2 or 3 months, and it's not even halfway gone. It actually feels pretty really like full, and I can see that it's still pretty full. So I wouldn't have normally been out by now of Laura Mercier. I literally had to probably buy one maybe every 3 months, so maybe 4 times a year. That sounds right. I don't even remember how much it was because I wanted to test it before like I gave y'all feedback or whatever. And I really like it. Like really like it. And I feel like I only paid $8 for it. $8. I'm pretty sure it was $8. And I used to pay $40. $38. I just sort of put the contour powder over my contour. And then once we're done baking, we will add our second highlight, which is the Master Chrome. And another thing, this is literally like $10 to $12. And before this, I only used MAC highlighters, which honestly weren't even that great, but I like them. And those are, you know, they're not too expensive, that MAC, but it's like a big savings. And so it was very like, wow. I am loving it. I am loving being able to save money and still get the payoff that I want. So I encourage you guys to not just expect for the best products you have to go to, you know, the counters in Nordstrom's or whatever. You don't have to do that. Yes, they have some bomb makeup, but you don't have to. Just be resourceful. Like, really, I'm looking for my brush to flick off this baking powder, and I don't see it. Here it is. So it's been a couple minutes, right? So it looks better, right? It doesn't look orange. It doesn't look too warm for me anymore. The total package is what you're aiming for. You have to have that higher picture type of goal. And this is what it is. It's with the contour and with the highlight that you will get that perfect color, as long as you are using the right colors with your highlight and your contour. So I just baked the powder. I just wiped the baking powder off. So I do look very powdery right now. So what we're going to do is, of course, use our finishing spray. I'm using De-Slick by Urban Decay, one of my faves. Of course, Max Fix Plus is an awesome spray as well. And I've been comparing the two. I really don't have a decision yet. I'm very indecisive, and I feel like they can all win. It just really is up to you on what you want. Now, this bottle, normally sold by Urban Decay, is more expensive than Max Fix Plus. I believe this one is $40, but I found it at Nordstrom Rack for $18. So again, be resourceful. It's really good if you get oily. The de-slicking is so you don't get oily. So we'll let that seep in. Usually if I have too much, I will use like the little powder press and press that into my skin. As you can see, Moonlight is not like a gold. It's literally like a, I don't want to say silver because it's not like silver, but it's like iridescent, and I just feel like it's like a natural glow for, like, honestly, if you were that dewy glow, not like a sweat, but almost like it. I feel like that's what it reminds me of. So now what I'm going to do with this highlight is I'm going to use a damp sponge, and I'm going to like rub it in here, and then I'm going to damp it on my skin, and it's going to give me that same dewy like highlight versus a strip. Actually, I got too much right there, but I can fix it. But something about the dampness of the sponge and the highlight, it really just gives a different type of payoff. So if ever you get too carried away, just get you a little nice loose leaf brush and just sort of blend it out. Easy and simple. So talk about dewy, talk about summertime, talk about light. It looks light and airy, but it's full coverage, and I don't know, I just really like it. So that is going to be it for the video on the dewy skin tutorial, and just daytime party vibes. And if you want me to finish the look and see the eye and lip that I pair with this, just watch the next video. And thank you for your patience. Like, subscribe. I promise I am trying my hardest to be on here more often with you guys.